Thanks for joining us this evening on TKO8 Local News. Blaze Forster of Mountain Home, who was recently jailed on a felony battery charge against a relative, received another battery charge against a police officer for allegedly punching incident while in the Baxter County Jail. According to the arrest affidavit, in the initial battery case, the victim's Forster's grandfather came to the Mountain Home Police Department complaining his grandson became upset when he was told to put his shirt on before going outside. He said Forster began punching him in the matter that made the grandfather believe he wasn't going to stop. When questioned, Forster allegedly admitted to becoming angry with his grandfather and struck him several times. He then was arrested and taken to jail without incident. 2 days later, however, inmates were threatening to beat Forster for spitting on the floor of his pod. As the jailer moved Forster to another cell, Forster was caught on camera throwing his bedding down and hitting the officer in the back of the head. The officer went to get a taser, and Forster shut the jail cell door. When the officer opened the door, Forster charged him, at which point the taser was employed and Forster surrendered. The surrender was short-lived, however. Forster pulled the lead wires off and began running to another room and shutting the door behind him. 5 more officers came to the jailer's assistance, and Forster was subdued. Forster remains incarcerated in the Baxter County Jail on a $30,000 bond for charges in addition to impairing the operation of a public facility. Well, the long arm of the law has caught up with a Fayetteville man. 32-year-old Jose Francisco Rodriguez was wanted locally since last December on a bench warrant related to drug offenses involving attempts to fill fraudulent prescription drugs and was finally captured this week. According to the arrest affidavit, on November of 2016, Mountain Home police officers were dispatched to a local pharmacy where Rodriguez and a second man were detained for a suspected attempt to pass a fraudulent prescription for oxycodone. Rodriguez claimed his only role in the scheme was as the driver of the vehicle. Rodriguez is charged with 5 felony counts for his alleged involvement in attempting to secure a controlled substance through fraudulent practices, with his bond set at $15,000. Well, the Elville City Council has passed 2 resolutions and heard a positive audit report on its water and sewer department in its monthly meeting last week. The first resolution authorizes Mayor Sean Lane to seek out matching grant money for improvements to the city's recreation facilities through the Arkansas Department of Parks and Tourism Outdoor Recreation Grant Program. The second resolution authorizes the mayor to dispose of property that holds no value to the city and remove the property from the city's water and sewer asset list for the current year. Closures of Highway 178 that allow the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to conduct maintenance on the Tanner gates at Bull Shoals Dam have been discontinued until the water level falls. According to the Arkansas Highway and Transportation Department officials, the Corps of Engineers has put its maintenance work on hold until the lake water returns to an elevation of 660 or below. Announcements for future closures will be made at the time of construction. CASA of Northwest Arkansas was recently awarded a $26,000 grant from Jewelers for Children to increase the number of volunteers who represent the best interest of abused and neglected children in the court system. The competitive award is a part of a $625,000 grant that the JFC Commission made to the National CASA Association. The Jewelers for Children grant is aimed at growing the voluntary base for CASA through the targeted marketing program and put the organization one step closer to serving every foster child in need. Stay with us. Be back in a moment. We'll take a look at some headline news from around the region. But first, here's this week's closing livestock report from Sammy Klein, brought to you by Quality Feed Grains of Harrison and Bellefonte.
This is Sammy Klein, Federal State Livestock Market News Service. 47 North Arkansas livestock auction report on Wednesday, June the 7th, Daily receipts 2,191. Last week 1969. Year ago not reported. Compared to last week, feeder steer steady $6 higher. Feeder heifer steady $4 higher. Feeder bulls mixed from $4 higher to $3 lower, generally steady. Slaughter cows $2 to $4 higher. Was quality better than last week. Slaughter bulls $1 higher. Feeder steers, medium large ones, 3 to 400 pounds, 194 to 208. 4 to 500 pounds, 174 to $2. 5 to 600 pounds, 159 to 184. 6 to 700 pounds, 145 to 174. 7 to 800 pounds, 136 to 155. A few 803 pounds at 142. Feeder heifers, medium large ones, 3 to 400 pounds, 159 to 182. 4 to 500 pounds, 146 to 164. 5 to 600 pounds, 138 to 153. 6 to 700 pounds, 132 to 144. 7 to 800 pounds, 125 to 137. Replacement cows, medium large 1 to 2, 2 to 7 year old, 900 to 1250 pounds, second, third stage. A few at 925 to 1130 per head. 7 to 10 year old cows, second, third stage at 70 to 80, or 760 to 925 per head. Cow-calf pairs, medium large 1 to 2, 2 to 7 year old, 900 to 1250 pound cows, 1 to 250 pound calves, 1125 to 1425 per pair. Slaughter cows, boners 66 to 70, high dress 71 to 78. Lean 60 to 65, high dress 65 to 71.50, low dress 53 to 57. Slaughter bulls, grade 1s, then 2, 1,100 pounds, 85 to 93.50, high dress 94.50 to 97.50. That's Market Day. Sammy Klein reporting. Thank you.
Stop and shop.
As the days heat up, so are the savings at Edwards Grocery. Selected varieties, Michelini's entrees, only 79 cents. Bagged chicken leg quarters, only $4.99 in the 10-pound bags. Selected varieties, Turkey Hill all-natural ice cream, only $2.99. USDA ground beef, only $2.29 per pound in the family packs. And extra large red ripe whole seedless watermelons, only $3.99.
Edwards Grocery Station money.
Planting season is far from over in the Ozarks, but Camps Plants is already beginning the spring closeouts. There are so many we can't possibly list them all in one 30-second commercial. But here's a few to get you started. 14-inch common mixed patio pots, regularly $29.95, now only $12.95 each. 4-pack bedding plants, normally $3.29, now only $1.50. Prices are subject to change, but they'll be going down. In the same location for over 30 years on Main Street in Harrison. Camps Plants. Let's get dirty.
A Mississippi County jury found a man guilty of first-degree murder in the death of his ex-girlfriend, Martha George. According to prosecuting attorney Scott Ellington, Cordero Woodward of Blytheville, Arkansas, was found guilty and sentenced to 15 years in the Arkansas Department of Correction. The state said that Woodward went to George's home on June 19th of 2016, just after midnight. They got into an argument and a fight. In which he poured gasoline on her and set her on fire with a lighter. Woodward said that George set herself on fire in an attempted suicide moment because she was talking to other women. Judge Cindy Tyler followed the jury's recommended sentencing, and Ellington praised detectives from the Blytheville Police Department and deputy prosecuting attorneys for their hard work in investigating and prosecuting this case. A lawsuit alleges that Arkansas Department of Human Services employees knowingly placed foster children into a home with a known violent sex predator. The lawsuit was filed on behalf of 7 former foster children of Clarence Garriston, who was sentenced to life in prison after pleading guilty to taking a child across state lines with the intent to engage in criminal sexual activity. He had been charged with 11 counts involving 8 minors prior, and the lawsuit seeks unspecified damages from the state. A Jonesboro man faces a felony charge after he reportedly told police he pulled a knife on 2 women as a scare tactic. Police arrested Christopher Jason Blanton on suspicion of aggravated assault after the 22-year-old victim told officers Blanton became heated during an argument with her and her mother. She said that he went to the kitchen and grabbed a butcher knife and held it in a threatening manner. The woman told officers she really believed he was going to kill both of them. When the officer spoke to Blanton, he said that he and the victim had been arguing and that he wasn't actually going to hurt her or her mother. After listening to his side of the story, officers arrested Blanton and took him to the Craighead County Detention Center to await probable cause hearing. The Arkansas Highway Commission has decided to seek a ballot measure to increase money for state roads next year after lawmakers refused to send voters a proposal that would have raised $200 million a year. The panel voted Wednesday to pursue putting a proposal on next year's ballot to increase highway funding. The panel will spend the coming months studying the level of additional funding it wants to seek during the election. It will also work on the specific type of proposal it wants to put before the voters. Well, Tyson Foods Incorporated says its purchase of Advanced Perry Foods is now complete. Tyson said it's in a new release that the estimated $4.2 billion transaction to acquire the Blue Ash, Ohio-based Advanced Prairie Holdings is a part of a strategic intent to emphasize its portfolio of protein brands across the country. Tyson's produces chicken, beef, and pork and is one of the largest food processors in the world and will be known with brands such as Jimmy Dean and, of course, Ballpark sausage. Advanced Prairie produces packaged sandwiches along with snacks and other food items. The announcement says Advanced Prairie is now a wholly owned subsidiary of Tyson Foods Incorporated, and the trade of Advanced Prairie shares on the New York Stock Exchange is now ending. Before we take a look at the weather forecast as we head on into the weekend, here's the way the stock market ended today. Well, it looks like we've got a great weather pattern, at least for the next 5 days or so. No rain in the forecast. Again, humidity will probably increase somewhat as we head into the weekend, but not too bad out there, really. But we definitely are having nice weather, temperatures in the upper 70s to low 80s. Here's the way it looks for tomorrow on Friday, about the same as today. Partly cloudy skies throughout the day, 82 degrees for an afternoon high. Warming up slightly as we head into the weekend. On Saturday, sunny skies and 85 degrees. Sunday, mostly sunny skies and about 86 degrees. And we kick off the work week on Monday, mostly sunny skies, 88 degrees. Likewise, Tuesday, partly cloudy skies and 88 degrees. I like this weather. Stay with us. Be back in a moment. We'll take a look at sports from around the region as TKO8 News continues.
The Townhouse Cafe in downtown Harrison is offering a great reason to wake up on Saturday mornings. Their incredible brunch. Starting at 7 a.m., you can enjoy all of your traditional breakfast favorites or some of these decadent dishes. Eggs Benedict, featuring an English muffin topped with ham, 2 eggs, made any way you like, and topped with fresh-made hollandaise sauce. Plus, you'll also get your choice of hash browns or home fries. Perhaps something even more delectable. Townhouse Cafe's fabulous U.S. farm-raised butterfly trout grilled with a drizzle of hollandaise sauce, 2 eggs any way you like, hash browns or home fries, and either a biscuit or toast on the side. Absolutely delicious. Saturday brunch at the Townhouse Cafe in downtown Harrison.
Tennessee has hired Arkansas assistant coach Tony Vitello as the next baseball coach there. Vitello has agreed to a 5-year contract with an average base salary of $493,000. The 38-year-old Vitello had been at Arkansas for the last 5 years. He had also been an assistant coach at Missouri from 2002 to 2010 and TCU from 2010 to 2013. Vitello replaces Dave Soren, who resigned last month. St. Louis Cardinals kept Scooter Gennett in check a day after his 4-homer game, but Patrick Kelvin had a pinch 3-run shot and sparked the Cincinnati Reds to a 6-4 victory over the Cardinals on Wednesday night, extending the Cardinals' longest losing streak in 4 years. The Cardinals have dropped 6 in a row. They let a 4-1 lead slip away from Kelvin, and Joey Votto homered during a 5-run 7th inning. Gennett became the first Reds player to homer 4 times in a ball game during the 13-1 win last night. He connected in his last 4 at-bats and had a chance for more history on Wednesday, a feat nobody has homered in 5 straight plate appearances. Gennett grounded into a double play his first time up against Lance Lynn, ending his homer streak. He also struck out, hit another double play, and singled as a part of the Reds' go-ahead rally. The 4-game series wraps up tonight in Cincinnati. Jason Vargas tossed 5 solid innings for his 8th victory. Chelsor Colbert drove in 3 runs, and the Kansas City Royals defeated the Houston Astros 7-5 last night. The anticipated pitching duel between Vargas and Dallas Keuchel, who have the 2 best ERAs in the major leagues, never really materialized. Keuchel was a late scratch with an illness after going out to warm up. Instead, the Astros decided to go with the right-hander Dion Diaz, who was just called up from AAA Frisco. Diaz gave up 3 runs, 4 hits, including Lorenzo Cain's solo homer in the 2nd and 2/3 innings. Vargas allowed 2 runs on Brian McCain's home run and RBI single. He gave up 6 hits, a walk, and hit a batter once. The Ohio Valley Conference is expanding its conference schedule and eliminating its divisional format for men's basketball. League officials approved these 2 changes at the conference's spring meetings. Each OVC member now will play 18 conference games, a change that applies to both men and women's basketball. OVC men's basketball had used the East and the West divisions since back in 2012. Without divisions, the league instead will determine conference tournament seedings by a team's league-winning percentage. Women's basketball already had eliminated the divisional format before the 2014 season. OVC officials also approved an extension to Commissioner Beth DeBosch's contract, which now runs through 2023. Oklahoma's coach Bob Stoops abruptly announced his retirement Wednesday and is considered a stunning off-season move by the 56-year-old future Hall of Famer, who led the Sooners to 11 conference championships, a national title in 18 seasons. Stoops was the longest tenured active coach in major college football, taking the job at Oklahoma a day before Kurt French started at Iowa. Offensive coordinator Lincoln Riley is being promoted to head coach, making him the youngest head coach in the FBC. Stoops says he intends to remain in Norman, Oklahoma, and the reason for his retirement, according to him, was that the time just felt right to pass the baton to the next generation of coaches. That wraps up our broadcast here for this evening. Thanks for joining us. Join us Monday through Friday at 6:30 and again at 10 p.m. as we continue to bring you local news, weather, sports, and local announcements from around the area on Harrison's broadcast station, TKO Channel 8. Now stay tuned for more local events around the Beauty area.
James MacGyver.
Don't tell me you know how to make a bomb out of a stick of chewing gum.
Why, you got some?